And we're live. Welcome back for another deadline stream. Sorry, I was muted. How are we all today? Gameweek 35. We've got double Gameweek deadline stream. My wildcard is active. We've got double Gameweek 37 to come. So a couple more double game weeks and the season's over. 4 more game weeks to go. How's everyone doing today? Hope you're all very well. Thank you all for being here on this deadline stream. We've got Mohammed, Jonah, Liam in the chat, Minimal, Nat Dewan, Beardy, Andy Smith, football fan. Wellstone, Jed, welcome all to the stream. Football fan says, hopefully everyone has a bad game week. Hopefully you have a bad game week after that message. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those on the wildcard. Like, we're selling players like Saka and Salah. Like, it could easily backfire. And I know a lot of people that have the wildcard have got Haaland on the bench, which, again, like, could backfire. But that's where I'm at. I've got him on the bench. And I've just got to hope that Haaland, I guess, comes off the bench. Gets a 1-point cameo. That would suit the wildcarders nicely. But yeah, there's every chance that he starts against Forest. It's a difficult one. I mean, if anyone else is on a wildcard, are you starting Haaland or have you got him on your bench? Morning, Razan. How are we doing? I'm good, thanks, Thomas. I'm not too bad. I was up super early today. Wildcard on my mind. I was up about 7 a.m. Didn't get to bed till about, I don't know, half 12, 1. So I haven't got as much sleep as I would have wanted, but I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. We'll have to see what happens this game week, though. We've got double game week. I'm not feeling so good about Romero in my defence. I've been going back and forth on Romero or 8 Nori on the wild card. So I just think 8 Nori, like, it could play out of position again. They've got Luton home. And Luton home are just conceding for fun right now. So I did have 8 Nori in ahead of Romero. And I feel like that one could be one I regret. But I think they're quite close, 8 Nori and Romero. And I could go 8 Nori this week and then sell him for Romero in Gameweek 37 or someone around that price. But I just thought it's booking in a transfer and you never know what other problems there could be. So that's where I'm at. FPL Bateman in the chat. How we doing? Marcus says the midfield looks fire. To be honest, it's pretty template, isn't it, on the wildcard? Or even like the front 7 or front 8, including Haaland on the bench. It's very template. I think the only variation I've really seen is some people are going for Maddison or Gordon. Sorry, Maddison or Johnson over Gordon. So, yeah. And if you do that, you can go double Newcastle defence. But I just can't bring myself to not have Gordon after how much he's done for me this season. Like, Gordon's been outstanding. I picked him up on the Gameweek 7. By the way, this goes to show how much luck and variance there is in FPL. Back in Gameweek 7, I picked up Gordon because I couldn't afford Bowen. And then Gordon just kept delivering. He's been like immense this season. Like, it's Gameweek 35 now and he's blanked once all season. So, yeah, Gordon's got to be him. So that's where I'm at with the wildcard. Kemp says thoughts on Maguire instead of Romero. Yeah, I think that's fine. Like, especially if you're tight for money. I think Maguire's fine. I prefer Dallo, but I know everyone's got the money for Dallo. I didn't, unfortunately. And also, annoyingly, I didn't have the money for Share. How we doing, Jay? Welcome to the stream. Ando Edits has got Werner. Anyone else got Werner? So in terms of the bench, Mahali's benching Haaland, so's Danny. How we doing, Matcha? Welcome to the stream. Welcome Prathamesh as well. Razan, welcome all to the stream. Who's got their wildcard active? Let's get a poll up on that. Is your wildcard active? Yes, no, used it already. Or go yes, saving it, and used it already. I think that makes sense, those 3 options. Get your votes on the poll. Danny says, yo, have you wildcarded Oscar? I have. Wildcard's active. It's active right now. And this is the team I've landed on. I mean, if there's any Chelsea fans watching this, is there any chance at all that Sanchez could come back in over Petrovic? Or is Petrovic nailed? I thought Petrovic actually wasn't bad against Arsenal, considering he conceded, 5 goals. I thought he made lots of great saves, and I'm just not sure if there's a chance Sanchez comes back in, but my gut feeling is it doesn't happen. Soham says, no Sanchez. Sanchez is trash. Daniel says he can. Pochettino's a melt. A melt. Leonard Dinosaur says Petrovic is not nailed. Yeah, I mean, that's my worry. And again, that's why I decided I'll just stick with Romero rather than 8 Nori booking a transfer, because you never know, I could need to shake things up. Like, I could end up going Petrovic to Vicario. and then Romero to like someone like Maguire in 37 if I've got a couple of problems there. So I think it makes sense, even though it's a bit more boring, to go with Romero. I like Davies, by the way. I don't know if anyone else has got Davies in their team. 4.3 mil. Udogie out for the season. 24k will. Day 93 of calling Focal Smexy Geezer. What about Onana? Yeah, I think Onana's a solid wildcard pick as well. I did consider him. Just United's defence is shocking right now. They're literally worse in the league for expected goals conceded over the last 6 games. Like, worse than the likes of Luton and Sheffield United. That's crazy. So, no Onana for me. I suppose if Onana might even be better than the likes of Dalot and Maguire, because there's the save points. Sorry, Tuna. Yeah, let's get to that. So, Tuna asked, Maguire and Jackson or Dalot and Mateta? I prefer Maguire and Jackson, 100%. Mateta's got no doubles, whereas Jackson's got 2. So, I'd rather the Maguire and Jackson combo. I know Maguire's like been in and out. He's had a few injuries, but I mean, he smashed it last game. 1 goal, 1 assist. So, yeah, I'd much rather the first combo. I get where you're coming from, though. Like, Mateta's just absolutely smashed it in the double game week, but I'd still rather get Jackson because he's got 2 extra games. Thomas says, what's your go-to hot drink? I'm having a tea this morning with the Focal former #1 in the world mug that FPL merch sent me. What's everyone drinking this morning? Tea, coffee, water, beer? Edzo, thanks for becoming an FPL Focal member. Thanks very much for that, Edzo. Appreciate your support. Shout out to all the members that are tuned into the deadline stream today. FPL Mackham says he's from 200k, so no Haaland. Mateta stays to rotate with Gordon. De Bruyne in also. He's binning some double defence and going White, Trent, Schär, Walker, Van der Ven. No Haaland. Okay, interesting. Mateta stays to rotate with Gordon. De Bruyne in. Okay. I mean, this is the thing. Like, there's a chance Haaland doesn't play this weekend, or he comes off the bench. So you could get ahead of the curve and have De Bruyne, and you're going to have an extra City fixture from De Bruyne. So I don't hate the De Bruyne pick at all. I did tinker with a few wildcard drafts that had him in, but in the end I just thought I may as well just go with Haaland, because there's so many good midfielders like Son, Palmer, Gordon, Foden, Bruno. Pretty much all pick themselves, and then you could look at someone like De Bruyne, Johnson, Maddison. Mateta stays. I mean, fair play. This is the sort of thing. Like, everyone's selling players like Mateta that have been great recently. Like, Saka's been great over the season, not so much recently. These are the sort of players that could carry on delivering. Watkins as well. Like, we haven't even talked about Watkins. I think he's a top scoring player in the game, and there's every chance he carries on returning. But he's not in any wildcard teams. Tinkered, not tinkled. Delia says she's currently got Højlund. Wish she had Bruno, but there's too many midfielder options. Højlund's a good one as well, yeah. Like, he scored last match, the home to Burnley. He's got 1 less game than Jackson, but I mean, there's every chance that he outscores Jackson. Neither have been that great this season, but yeah, I like the Højlund pick. Jackson for Cunha, -4. I don't think I would do that for a -4, because Cunha's home to Luton. And he could easily haul on that one. Like I was saying just now, Man United are worst for expected goals conceded over the last 6, but Luton are second worst over that run. So I think Cunha's fine. I wouldn't take a hit to sell him before Luton home, of all fixtures. And he's got Disasi, but doesn't want him. Yeah, the Chelsea defence is difficult now, because Gusto was the obvious one, but it sounds like he's out for this weekend. He's probably going to be back Gameweek 36. So yeah, that made the wildcard defence a bit trickier. Disasi may be the best one. Maybe Cucurella. I did look at Cucurella as well, because Chilwell is still a doubt. I think he's still doing his rehabilitation, so I think Cucurella is under the radar as well. But the problem is, it's not just this week. You want someone that you can rely on in Gameweek 37 as well. And if Chilwell's back, then Cucurella is a big question mark for minutes. Ivana Tinkle says there's so much recency bias going on with the wildcards. Do you think so? I think maybe the opposite for some players. Like Jackson. I guess like Bruno Fernandes, but he is home to Burnley. But there are some players in wildcards that people wouldn't have unless they're doubles. Like, there's no way I would ever have Jackson unless he had a couple of doubles, which he does. Edzo, thanks for the 3 months as well, says, would you take a -4 for Saka out and Gordon in? I'd be very tempted, yeah. I'd be very tempted. In the reverse fixture, they beat Sheffield United 8-0. I'm not expecting another 8-0, but I just think they're rock bottom in the league. They've already conceded the record most goals in Premier League history. And that was after last game week. Already the most. Like, they've conceded more goals than Derby did that season when Derby set the record for the fewest points ever. So I do think Gordon's got more upside home to Sheffield United than Saka does away at Spurs. So I think I would do that just about, yeah. Difficult one though, because like Saka's got some nice fixture still. Bournemouth home, Gameweek 36, Everton home 38. But I think I would do that, yeah. There's a lot more upside in making that move for me. And Saka's not been on it recently. Just looks tired, looks leggy. Tony says, Nicholas Jackson is the Celine Dion of FPL. Stiff body syndrome and should take up residency in Vegas as a lounge singer. Malagusto forced a hit. I mean, you know what's going to happen. People are benching Haaland, like myself, for Jackson. Jackson's going to get a 2-pointer in one of the games, a 1-pointer in the other probably. Wouldn't surprise me at all for 3 points, and then Haaland goes and gets, you know, like a couple of goals against Forest. How are we doing half time? Welcome to the stream. Sam says Sheffield United go down if they lose to Newcastle. Hopefully that fuels Gordon and Isak. Yeah, I mean it's all but sealed, isn't it? They're going down. I don't know if it'll make much difference to them, but it's just an outstanding fixture basically. Just an incredible fixture. 57% have the wildcard active on the poll. 3% are saving it. 39% have used it already. Interesting. Jan says Saliba, Maguire, Share, or White, Dallow and Burn. Saliba, Maguire, Share, White, Dallow, Burn. That's quite a close one, but I would say White, Dallow, Burn. Just, yeah, I think I would go the White, Dallow, Burn route. Very close though, because Share's got more upside than Burn. White's got more upside than Saliba. Dallow's got more upside than Maguire, but to be fair, Maguire's been doing alright recently. But I'd go for the second one, White, Dallow, Burn. Starboy McGee, 10 months, he says, is Foden a viable captain this game week? I don't know if I'd captain him. I think it's got to be a doubler. Palmer or Son. These are the projected points for Game Week 35 from FPL Review. Palmer's top on 10.3, then Son's on 9.4. I mean, Foden's not even in like the top 10 here. Jackson's third, but I don't know if anyone's going to captain Jackson. Is that true, Marcus? Burns got better expected data this season than Share. Didn't know that. In terms of what? Expected goal involvement. Maddison's fourth here. Salah. I mean, does Salah start? I've asked my Liverpool contacts, the guys that normally send me some Liverpool news, and they've not got back to me. Well, they got back to me last night, and they said they're not sure if they'll be able to send anything in the morning, because both of them were busy this morning, but they said they'd try. So we'll have to see. But I don't think I'd captain Foden myself. Oh, Edzo, thanks for the gifted membership. And Starboy McGee, gifted membership each. Thanks for that, both of you. Appreciate that, Edzo and Starboy. Thanks for the support. And Adam Hawks, thanks for becoming a member as well. Loads of new members today. Welcome to all the new members. If anyone else wants to be a member, it's the join button below the stream. Or there's a Patreon link in the description. You get a little badge by your name in the stream and comments. You get access to the members channel Discord. And it supports the channel. So if you're interested, that's how you do it. Thanks again for that. Dusty Tones says Barnes to Gordon, or goes Saka or Salah to Gordon. Yeah, I don't think I'd sell. It's difficult. I don't think I'd sell Barnes before Sheffield United home. I would keep an eye out in case there's any Liverpool news as we near the deadline. I have a feeling we might get something. I mean, I might even get something because it's the first kickoff of the game week, so If we've got Salah, if anyone's got Salah, I would hold back on making any moves just in case there's news he doesn't start. If he doesn't start, then I'd sell Salah for Gordon. If he does start, I'd sell Saka. If there's no news at all, I'd sell Salah. But yeah, I don't think it makes sense to sell Barnes before Sheffield United home. Mark says, I've got the same team lineup as you, and I'm leading by a small margin in my mini leagues. Is a differential risky at this point? Who would you choose? I don't think it's risky. Differentials are fine, but you know, I wouldn't pick them just for the sake of it. Pick whoever you think's going to get the most points, especially if you're top of the league. In terms of differentials, I mean, to be honest, players like Jackson are differential. Like, it depends what chips people in your league have got. And it depends how engaged they are. Like, I think a lot of people that aren't engaged FPL managers might be overlooking Jackson. And that might, to be fair, that might work in their favour. Bruno, he's 16%. That's quite low, to be honest. I wouldn't pick one for the sake of it, to be honest with you. Like, burn and share, decent picks. I would just play a sensible game, to be honest with you, especially if you're top of the league. I wouldn't go looking for differentials just for the sake of it. Edison's 14% owned. I mean, there's loads of players like this that are actually not that highly owned. 4.2% Petrovic. I don't think you need to go sniffing for differentials for the sake of it, but you could go for someone like Maddison or Johnson in midfield, but then who do you drop? Do you guys play for overall rank, or do you play for mini leagues? Primarily. Interested to know if anyone plays just for mini leagues. Like, are you in many paid mini leagues or anything like that? Before I started doing FPL content, it was just used to be mini leagues. Before I started doing anything on YouTube, I was just in a mini league with my brother, so I'd just play against him, and I'd start playing like really reckless as the season went on if I was chasing. Oh, interesting. Most people mini leagues. Mahali says both. Thomas says both. Most people play for mini leagues. That's interesting. I always thought it was the other way around. Like, most people are, you know, trying to target top 10k, top 100k, rank 1 in the world. Newton says both. Both, but not for money. Mini leagues, both. Interesting. I mean, it is bragging rights, isn't it? With all your mates if you beat them in the league. It goes hand in hand though, doesn't it? Like, if you can get a really good rank, then you're going to win your leagues as well. Make a poll on that. Alright, we'll end this poll and stick another one up. What do you play for more? Overall rank or mini leagues? Maybe I should have put both on there. But if you had to pick one, I guess we'll do it that way. If you had to pick one. Darren, thanks for the super chat. It says Jackson and Isak for -4, or should I get Gordon? It depends who you're selling. It's difficult to answer without knowing who you're selling, Darren. Like, if you've got very replaceable forwards like Darwin, then I would much rather get Jackson and Isak. Or if you've got a very replaceable midfielder, I'd rather get Gordon. So, yeah, it really depends who you're selling there, Darren. But I think Jackson and Isak for a -4 is a nice pair of moves this week. I think there's a good chance that hit gets repaid and then some. But yeah, it depends who you replace him. Nova says Salah, Luis Diaz, Richards to Son, Foden, Porro for -4. Salah, Luis Diaz, Richards, Son, Foden, Porro. Yeah, I like that. I think that makes perfect sense, to be honest. Replacing 3 players with no more doubles for Son and Porro, who've got 2, and Foden, who's got 1 in 37. Yeah, good move, Novus. Do it. Jurgen Klopp in the chat, he says, are you starting Haaland? I'm not. I've got him on the bench. I just have to hope that he doesn't start. Because the problem is, like, who would I actually bench here? Would it be Foden? I don't think I'd bench Bruno home to Burnley. I'm not going to bench Son, Palmer, Gordon. I'm not going to bench Isak. I mean, I'm not going to bench Jackson with a double game week. So it'd have to be Foden, but I think the logical thing to do is to play the expected minutes game, and Foden, on paper, has higher expected minutes than Haaland does. But we'll do the news roundup now, actually, and we'll just go through all the bits and bobs from yesterday. Arsenal first. No actual news on Arsenal, really, but Timber's close to a return. The decision on his involvement will be taken tomorrow, so today. Everyone else came through fine in the 5-0 win over Chelsea. Bournemouth appealed Kirkes' red card, but it failed, so he's going to serve a 3-match ban. No other notable news, as far as I'm aware, for Bournemouth. Palace news. Eze's a doubt for Gameweek 35 with knee injury. A decision is going to have to be made on his availability. He doesn't expect anyone else to return, like Guehi, Johnston, all sidelined still. So if you've got Eze, something to keep in mind. Might be worth selling him for Gordon. Tottenham news. Pedro Porro and Richarlison have trained well and they're both available for Gameweek 35. Udogi's out for the season. Anyone going there with Richarlison? Or avoid him? I think he's a bit risky, Richarlison, for 2 starts. He might come off the bench in the first game, so I don't think it's worth it. I'd rather have Johnson or Maddison, I think. Palmer's back in training and he will be available. Gusto and Chilwell are both injured. Sterling and Chukwuemeka are both doubts. And Nkunku, James, Colwell, Sanchez are in partial team training. Fofana, Lavia and Enzo Fernandez are out for the season. Newcastle news. Pope, Trippier, Joelinton and Almiron are making progress, but they will miss Gameweek 35. Livramento is going to be assessed after training today ahead of Sheffield United. Wilson made his injury comeback on Wednesday. Target's season is over. And then lastly, Man City tweeted photos of training and Haaland's been seen in training. So he missed the midweek game obviously, but Haaland's back in training. So another head scratcher on the wildcard. Like, do you start him? Do you bench him? I don't know if I would avoid him completely. Mr. F says start Saka or Mateta, Van Dijk or Gabriel. Who have Palace got? I've forgotten who Palace have. Arsenal away to Spurs. Palace have got Fulham away. I think I'd rather start Saka. In terms of Van Dijk or Gabriel, it's a close one as well. Gun to my head, I would say start Van Dijk. Quite close though. Suresh, thanks for the 7 months. Says Saka and Haaland. Who should I bench? I think I would take a chance on Haaland. So he's going to have 2 days of training before the game. Maybe that's enough. It was only a small injury. Like, he only missed 2 games. So he missed the FA Cup semi-final. And he missed the Brighton game. So does he come straight back in? I think, given there's a chance that he's on the bench, I would bench him. Start Gabriel Zabanye. So Bournemouth have got... Let me just check the fixtures. Who have Bournemouth got? Oh, they're home to Brighton. I'll go with the clean sheet odds for that one. Let's check what they say. Bournemouth 22% chance of a clean sheet. What was the other one? Gabriel. 25. Yeah, there's nothing between them. I think I'd start Zabanye. Very close. I'd start Zabanye. FPL Chai in the chat. How we doing, mate? How's the season going? It's been a while since we last spoke. We need to play some pro clubs again soon. Gucci says, 1 week punt. It's on a free hit. Salah, Foden or De Bruyne. He also got 74 points on his bench. Oh, for the bench boost last week. Okay. Do you know what the record bench boost is? I don't. I wish I knew. That's crazy. 74 points bench boost. But be honest, Gucci. Were you doing some bench wankery there? Where you have like... Oh. My chair's broken, by the way, so I could stack it off my chair at any point in the stream. I've got a new chair coming today. What was I saying? Yeah. Was your bench actually your weakest players, though? Or were you benching like really good players for the double? I'm not sure what the record is, but yeah, fair play. Fair play. That's a massive bench boost. So, best 1 week punts. Yeah, if I was on a free hit, I think I'd have Foden and De Bruyne, you know. I think I'd have no Haaland, but I'd have Foden and De Bruyne if I was on a free hit. And just hope that they both start and Haaland doesn't. I think that's what I would do if I was on a free hit this week. I wouldn't have Salah. I mean, I've got a widget on a FPL.page which shows like the lowest score in the top 10k and the most bench points. The most bench points in the top 10k was 69. The lowest score was 30 points. That is brutal, isn't it? Imagine this late in the season going from 700th to 27k. I don't know if they missed the deadline or what happened there, but yeah, that's absolutely killer. Where did I get to? Solanke. Mustavi says Solanke to Isak. Yeah, I like that. And Saka to Son from -4 hit. Yeah, I think that's worth it. I would do that, Mustavi. That's worth it. As far as -4s, that's definitely worth it. Tony Pribe, thanks for the super chat, says, how about a poll on the odds on Man City getting a points deduction for the breach of profitability and sustainability rules, PSRs, go Everton, Nottingham Forest? We can poll that. I'll give you my thoughts on that. I wouldn't be surprised if nothing comes of it, the 115 charges. But yeah, I can't imagine how frustrating it is if you're an Everton and a Forest fan getting deducted points, and then City, you've got 115 charges. But I think the difference is Forest and Everton were upfront and honest, and they said, yeah, we're guilty. But I think City are arguing they're not guilty of any of those charges. Before we do a poll on that, so 41% play for overall rank, 59% play for mini leagues. We'll do a poll on that since it was a super chat. So what was the question? Will City get a points deduction? I'll put in the brackets this season or in the future, because I guess like people might say no this late in the season, which is fair. What a poll. The poll is up, Tony. Thanks for that. Let's see what the people think. Jed says the difference is City have got money for a league full of lawyers. Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to be a long process, isn't it? Virtual says City's charges aren't as simple as black and white PSR breaches. Yeah, I mean, I don't admittedly know loads about it. I'm sure it's a very complicated situation. And City obviously arguing that they're not guilty of anything there. Josh Pickett says, love you, Focal. Thanks very much, Josh. Appreciate that. It's not going to be this season. Yeah, I don't think it'll be this season. That wouldn't make sense this late in the season. But so that's why I put it in brackets, because most people wouldn't expect it to be this season. So 39% say they will, 61% say they won't, or about 40-60. PCH in the chat says, hi, Bossman Focal. I'm watching from the toilet. What is it with like the amount of people that watch these streams on the toilet? Who's on the toilet right now? Be honest in chat. Who's listening in the toilet? British says, please no toilet talk. Okay, right. We won't go there again. We won't go there again. Bruno or KDB? It's very close, that one. I mean, KDB should score more over the season, but it depends like on the combination of players that you own. Because I couldn't afford KDB, so it's Bruno. But if money's no obstacle, like I'd rather have De Bruyne, don't get me wrong. Beanbag, with the 20 months, he says, no Haaland for Højlund. It will approve Maguire, Dallo, etc. No, I can't go into the run-in without Haaland. Like, it's got, don't get me wrong, there's massive upside there. And was it last season or season before? Might have been a couple of years ago. What was his name? Josh, who won FPL. He went no Salah when everyone had Salah after AFCON. And Salah wasn't the same after that AFCON. Because he'd played so much football. Like, he'd played something like 3 or 4, 120 minutes at the tournament. And De Bruyne just carried on smashing it. And like, that's the sort of thing. If you're willing to take that risk and go De Bruyne rather than Haaland plus Foden, it definitely could work. But I'd rather not chance it at this point. Because I do still think like Haaland's a very, very good option. He could even play this weekend. Might start, might come off the bench, might be an unused sub. But I'll captain him in Gameweek 36 and 38. And maybe 37, but you know, it's tempting to go for Son or Palmer. I'll have to decide on that. But I wouldn't want to sell someone that I would captain for at least 2 of the final 4 game weeks, if you see what I mean. Beg says, are you sure about Petrovic over Edison? I'm unsure. Yeah, I think you've got to start the double game at keeper. So, yeah, definitely starting Petrovic this week. Don't get me wrong, it's one of those, like, Petrovic could concede them both, and Ederson could keep a clean sheet. You know, and Petrovic ends on, I don't know, 3-4 points. Ederson gets 6, 7. But you got to back the double game week keeper. Eze or He-Chan? If that's who to start, I mean, Eze's a doubt now, so I think I'd take a chance and start Hwang home to Luton. Garnacho or Haaland? I would start Haaland and just hope that he starts. I don't think I could bench Haaland for Garnacho. Do a toilet poll. Yeah, but British said no more toilet chat, so we've been told off. Live chat is stuck. You'll have to reload. It's okay on mine. Kevin says, hey, it's 4:30 a.m. here now in Canada. Jeez, what time is it where you guys are? It's 9:30 here in the UK. Have you been up all night, or have you set an alarm for 4:30? Daishan says Romero or Ben Davies. I mean, I've got Romero, so that's my answer. But I did look at Davies. Basically, my concern with Davies is, does he start every single remaining game? Like, Udogi's missed, I think, 4 games this season, and Davies has started every single one of them in left back. But some Spurs fans think there's maybe a chance that at some point Van der Ven or Emerson start in left back. 10:30 a.m, 11:30, 1 a.m, still hasn't gone to bed. 3 a.m. in USA. Haaland or Ben Davies? I'd rather start Haaland there, I think. But yeah, I did look at Davies. I think he's definitely an option, but I'm just going to play it safe with Romero. Shilly says Maguire, Gabriel, White, or Romero, Gabriel, Saliba. So Gabriel's in both. So it's Maguire, White, or Romero, Saliba. Maguire, White, Romero, Saliba. I'd go Romero, Saliba, I think. Just about. Yeah. It's close. Romero, Saliba, I would say. Unless you can afford Dallo, Saliba. In which case, I'd go for that. Dallo, Saliba. Otherwise, Romero, Saliba. Dylan is bored. Says, morning, Oscar. Both Spurs and Chelsea have not great matches. Thoughts on a one-match player, captain like Isak? The upside could be huge. Cheers, mate. Yeah, I think someone like Isak or Gordon could absolutely come off, but it's not like we've got bad captain choices with Palmer and Son. If it was a weaker double game week, then, like, don't get me wrong, then you could make the case, but I think Son and Palmer make more sense. I mean, this week, FP Review projections have got Palmer top, then Son. Isak's on 6.9, so, I mean, Palmer here is on, what, 3.4 more points? Projected points than Isak. So I think a doubler makes more sense, Palmer or Son. We'll get a captain poll going. I'd be interested to know if anyone else is looking at Isak like yourself. So we'll go, who is your captain for Gameweek 35? Spelled captain wrong. Palmer, Son. Should we just go Isak / Gordon? No, I'll just go Isak. And other. So if you go other, message and chat who your other is. I mean, maybe I could have put someone like Jackson or Madison as the third option, but I'll put the Isak one in there. But yeah, to answer your question, Dylan, I think Palmer and Son are the two best options. Paolo says, hey, Focal, 3:30 in the morning here. He's already done Salah and Darwin to Son and Isak from -4. Should I take another hit for Eze to Gordon? No chips left. I think it depends who comes off your bench, Paolo, if Eze doesn't play. Because there is a risk there now. This was the latest. Eze's a doubt for Gameweek 35 with a knee injury and a decision to be made on his availability. I think I'd probably take the hit, you know. Because number 1, there's a chance he doesn't play. Number 2, Gordon's got a better fixture. Number 3, Gordon's got a double in 37. While Eze doesn't. So I think that's probably worth it, just about. Albeit at -8, which isn't ideal. We'll do a hit poll in a minute, actually. Seems like there's lots of hits this week. Connor says Diaz / Eze to Gordon from -8. Munoz to Share from -12. Yeah, again, I would do the Eze one. Unless there's a leak. Obviously make that move last minute if you can, because you know, we might get some early team news that Diaz doesn't start, but I'll do Eze to Gordon, yeah. Munoz to share. I wouldn't take a -12 for that, Connor. I would just do the Eze to Gordon move for the same reason as Paolo. Max, thanks for becoming an fplfocal elite member again. I thought we'd never see you again. Thanks very much for that, mate. Appreciate that. Thanks for the support, Max. Diaz to Bruno for a -4. Not for a -4. Not for me. Oh, it's frozen on this stream. Sorry, I got you. I thought you meant it's frozen in yours. Alright, let me fix that. That's weird. So, open this. Where is it? There it is. So I'll do that. And then it'll disappear. And then I'll do that. And it comes back. Boom. There we go. What's the news on Gusto? Gusto is reportedly out for this game week. That's it there. Palmer's back in training and he's available. Gusto and Chilwell are both injured. 29 months from Max. He says Maguire, Madders and Garnacho. Or Dalot, Johnson and Gordon. Maguire, Maddison, Garnacho, Dalot, Johnson and Gordon. I prefer the second one way more, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'd go Dalot, Johnson, Gordon. Like Johnson and Maddison, I think are neck and neck. Gordon's better than Garnacho, and Dalot's better than Maguire on paper. So I'd go for the second one, Max. Thanks for that. So 81% Palmer, or 80% Palmer, 10% Son, 7% Isak, 3% other. Trying to see if there's any others in the chat. Garnacho captain, says Luke. Clean sheet odds, yeah, clean sheet odds are as follows. It's got the odds separate for Chelsea and Spurs here, but Newcastle top this week, 42.5. City just behind them, 42. Then United, but seems a bit generous, 34. Maybe that's about right. Liverpool and Fulham, 31.5. But yeah, I mean, the clean sheet odds aren't great for Chelsea or Tottenham this week. Play Haaland or Garnacho? I'd play Haaland. Share or Burn? I'd rather share. I just couldn't squeeze him in my wildcard, annoyingly. So I've got Burn. Even if I went Romero to Maguire, I think I still couldn't afford Burn. Just keeping an eye in case I get any Liverpool team news. I asked a couple of people last night, and they said they'd try and send it today, but they weren't 100% if they'd get it. They said the only thing they know so far is that Endo starts. So I'll keep an eye out, because I know a lot of you've got Salah and Diaz and those sorts of players. Trent. Tuna says Maguire or Bramthwaite. United can't keep a clean sheet. Yeah, they're pretty close, because Everton are home to Sheffield United, I think it is, in Gameweek 37. I still think I'd take a chance on Maguire, but they are really close, to be honest. It also depends if you're bench boosting in 37 and you need a good player for that week. But yeah, Bramthwaite with a single game week's not bad at all in 37. But I'd say Maguire just about edges it. Jurgen Klopp says, I can't see a clean sheet for either Chelsea or Spurs this week. So my wildcard defence is Petrovic and Nana. White, Gabriel, Burn, 8, Norrie, Maguire. Who would you change? I've got money in the bank and 3 City attackers. I like the White pick, but who do you start this week? You start Burn, you start 8 Norrie, and then you have to pick between White and Maguire. I mean, I'm not sure if United keep a clean sheet either. Maybe they do, but as I said earlier, over the last 6, they're worst for expected goals conceded in the entire league. Like, even worse than Luton and Sheffield United. I mean, they conceded 2 to Sheffield United midweek. I don't think it needs changing. I like the 8 Norrie pick. I was very tempted by him myself. Like, home to Luton, might be playing out of position again. He might be playing left wing, you know. I don't think it needs changing. I think it's fine. I mean, my defence is slightly different, but... Oh, what's this message? Oh, okay. Loads of Liverpool changes. Can't say too much before 10. Who shall I ask for? Who do you guys want to know about for Liverpool? Which Liverpool players does everyone want to know about? I'll reply now. Salah? Anyone else? Just Salah. Salah, Nunez, Diaz, Darwin. Okay. Salah, Darwin, Diaz are the main ones. Is there anyone else? Trent. I've got a message here saying Cole Palmer will start. There we go. Okay, well I've asked about Liverpool, so there we go. Kenny Dalglish. Skip says, morning Oscar, why Petrovic over Edison? He's got a double game week. Got to start him with a double. Obviously the clean sheet hopes aren't that high, but I've got to start him with a double game week. Nova says 2 out of 3, Saka, Haaland, Garnacho, big doubt. I think you have to start Haaland over Garnacho. I know what you mean, like Garnacho could smash it against Burnley, but you have to start Haaland over Garnacho, surely. And I'd start Saka. North London derby. I know Saka's been a bit off it recently, but I'd still start Saka. I know what you mean, like they're quite close, but I wouldn't bench Haaland for Garnacho. Ben Lass says, Richie back this game, viable differential. Son's worse with him. Yeah, the problem is, it's his first game back, so does he start against Arsenal, or does he come off the bench? I think there's a chance that he doesn't start. Wow. They said I'm not allowed to say anything till 10. I mean, I don't want to I don't want to wrong them. So as soon as it's 10, I'll tell you. Because otherwise, like if I just say what they've said, then they might never send anything again. I promise you, as soon as it's 10, I'll say what they've just said. I'm not saying that to like make you stay, but I don't want to like piss them off because otherwise we might never get stuff again. So it's like 15 minutes. Virtual says we know what wow means. I mean, you can probably piece it together, but yeah, I'm genuinely not saying that to like make you stick around, but I just don't want to like annoy them by, you know, just giving stuff out straight away when they've said please don't. You filthy tease. I'm not trying to. I'm just, that's what they said. You can probably guess it, but anyway, let's move on. We'll come back to that in a minute. Yeah, they didn't specify time zone, did they, to be fair? Right, cool, mate. Thank you. You're a trustworthy person. Appreciate that. I mean, I've got nothing to like benefit from this either. Like, people are going to action this information and benefit from it massively. I don't have any Liverpool players, so like, it doesn't even benefit me. I'll just lose rank by reading what they've said, but anyway. Right thing to do. I've never kept anything for myself, by the way. I just share literally anything I get told. This is Oscar's way of increasing watch time. Stop it. Yeah, so I did Venlas's question. I'm just not sure if I'd go Richarlison because he's only just back. I think I'd rather Johnson or Maddison if I was going to go there. But it might come off. Like, he might start, but you'd imagine he gets a cameo before a start, right? But maybe not. Ben says Edison, Burns, Saliba, or Raya, Cher, and Vardiol. Edison, Burns, Saliba, Raya, Share, Vardiol. I'd rather the first combination. I just think Edison, like, there's definitely more upside going Vardiol, but you just never know City defence. Like, out of nowhere, Ruben Diaz gets benched midweek. Maybe not out of nowhere. Like, he does have all his defenders fit, but the problem is he's got all his defenders fit, and he's not really been in this situation the entire season. So I decided I'd rather have Edison just to be a bit more safe. It's a bit more boring as well. But yeah, the downside is you have to go for Burn over Share. But I'd rather that combination. Burn versus Share. I mean, Share, I think, is the better pick. He's got, I think, 4 goals, 3 assists. Burns got 2 goals, 2 assists. So I prefer Share, but there's quite a lot of difference in price between them. So it depends if you can afford them. But yeah, if money's no problem, I would definitely have Share over Burn this week. He's just more of an aerial threat. Is the stream lagging, or is it just my stream? Let me reduce the quality. We'll go 480p. There we go. Joe Gomez, Gameweek 38 punt. I mean, that's the thing, by the way. If everyone can get to Gameweek 38 with 2 free transfers, then you're in a really solid position because everyone kicks off at the same time. So you have a chance to react to a lot of team news simultaneously. Marco says, hello Focal, is there any leaks about Liverpool? I've just been sent a few bits, but they said please wait till 10, so I don't want to annoy them by just saying it straight away. So I'm just going to respect what they've asked and wait till then. Again, I'm not saying that to like make people stick around. As soon as it's 10, I'll just say what they said. I mean, it might be out there already. Let's check on Twitter. Start Saka or Garnacho? I feel like you start Saka. Klopp is cracking up. I've just been sent the full 11 from someone else as well. Which ties up with the other message. Jesus. Okay. Oh. Sorry, let me just send this back to them. Oh, sorry if you could hear that. Right. Any Chelsea or Spurs team news? Yeah, in terms of Chelsea, I mean, no lineup. I got a message saying Palmer starts, but I think that was predictable anyway. But Palmer's back in training. Gusto and Chilwell are injured. That was the main Chelsea news. And then the Spurs news was that Porro and Richarlison have trained well and both are available. This is like waiting for the EastEnders ending. What's he said? Tony says, alright, focus. The amount of times I've been called focus. Don't know if anyone ever saw that vlog I did when I played at Anfield, but I scored a free kick and what was his name? I've forgotten his name now. James something with a YouTube channel. And he went, yes, focus! Anyway, what's your question? Watkins or Isak? I'd rather Isak, yeah. Isak over Watkins for me. Share or Porro? That's a good question. I think you have to go Porro with a double game week. You know, although the clean sheet odds are low, I think you go Porro with a double. Any news on Man City? I don't think there's anyone who's out. I mean, Haaland was seen back in training, so yeah, Haaland's available for selection. He's been spotted in training. Yes, focus. Oh, it's going to annoy me. What was his name? James, who has a football channel. I forget his surname now. Really nice guy, but I feel bad for forgetting his last name now. James Alcott, that's it. Yeah, that was it. Really nice guy. We had a good chat about YouTube. Is Foden starting? Nothing on City. They don't play till tomorrow afternoon, so I don't know if we'd get anything. Let's go focus stream. Maybe I should change. There's already an FPL focus, so I can't change. It's too late. I'm already focal now. It's done. Adam says no Ben White. I wish I could afford him, but I couldn't. So I'm sticking with the old trusted Gabriel Saliba combo. That was absolutely killer last week. Like, fair play if any of you went for White last week. Alright, let's end that poll. So 81% of Captain and Palmer, 11% Son, 6% Isaac, 2% Other. Did you correct him, Focus? No, I didn't, to be fair. I actually didn't even realise until I watched the footage back. I actually didn't even realise at the time. But it happens all the time. Focus raid. Alright, new poll. Are you bench boosting? Gameweek 37. Poll is up. Get your votes in. So let's have a look at the scout selection for Gameweek 35. Let us know in chat how many players you've got from the scout. They've got Petrovic in goal. They've got Porro, Cher, Maguire in defence. Son, Bruno, Palmer, Johnson midfield. Isaac, Jackson and Mateta up top. How many players have you got this week? FPL Rocket. That's a good name. I wonder if that's taken. I reckon it probably is. We're starting to run out of names, aren't we? Like, I've seen FPL Broccoli, FPL Radiator. Mokhtar's got 9. Mahali's got 8. Ross has got 6. John's got 4. The other John's got 4. Joe's got 5. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for me. Sorry, yeah, let me catch up on Super Chats. I'm a bit behind. FPL Machine says, is Eze injured? He might be. We haven't had like a clear update. It could be a late fitness test. Glasner said Eze's a doubt for the Gameweek 35 of a knee injury. And the decision's going to be made on his availability. So, yeah, if I had him and I didn't have Gordon, I think that's an easy transfer to make this week. Juxtaposed, thanks for the super chat. He says, what team do you support and should I bench Haaland? I'm an Arsenal fan. Been an Arsenal fan my whole life. My granddad was friends with the Arsenal manager that came before Wenger, so that's how it came to be. George Graham, I think his name was, the one that came before Wenger. Yeah, my granddad was best mates with him, so I don't remember it, but there's like those photos of me at Arsenal training with like Bergkamp and Henry and stuff. So yeah, it's just been in the family since then. My granddad, then my dad, then me. But my mum and brother are Chelsea, so there's a bit of a divide in the family there. Who do you guys support? So the question was, who should I bench Haaland? Depends who your options are. Like, if you've got the same front seven, then I would say bench him. But yeah, it depends who you've got, who you're benching for him. Impossible to answer otherwise. Timothy says, FPL Oscar, still the best from the FPL interviewee. Oh yeah, I should have gone for FPL Oscar. That would have been a good name as well. I can't remember how I ended up with Focal. I mean, I think a lot of you know the story, but when I was making an FPL name, I was just looking around the room. So I was like, oh, FPL microphone, FPL monitor, FPL tea mug or whatever. And then I was like, oh, bin, FPL bin. So for like a week, I was FPL bin, and then I changed it. Misspelled focus. Yeah, just autocorrect, and then I had to stick with it. Kalian, thanks for the super chat. Message retracted. I didn't see it before you retracted it. Danj says Salah out for one of Gordon, Foden, Fernandes. Yeah, I'd sell Salah. Gordon, Foden, Fernandes. Yeah, it's difficult to pick those three apart, you know. I think I'd probably go for Gordon. Home to Sheffield United. They beat them 8-0 in the reverse fixture. I think there could be lots of goals in that one, so yeah, I would buy Gordon. I think he'd make sense as the priority this week. And then they've got Burnley away, Gameweek 36, and then they've got the double in 37 and Brentford away in 38. So they've got a pretty nice run of games. Tyler Joseph, thanks for the super chat. He says, what changes would you make, Oscar? He's got Raya, Aït-Nouri, Mitchell, Gabriel, Garnacho, Palmer, Saka, Salah, Saka, Haaland, Solanke, Mateta. The bench is Petrovic, Son, Gusto, and Udogie. Got 1 free transfer, 0.1 mil on the bank, bench boost left, 20 points ahead. So I would sell Salah for Gordon. So your defence this week, Nori, Mitchell, Gabriel. Yeah, I don't know if I'd make a move in defence. It's just whether to go Mateta or Solanke to Isak. I think just Salah to Gordon's okay. I don't know if you need a -4 here, to be honest with you. Yeah, I mean, you could chase the upside and do Mateta to Jackson for a -4. Yeah, I think that's what I would do. Salah to Gordon and Mateta to Jackson. I think that's what I would do to line up the bench boost. It makes sense to sell someone with a single in 37 for someone that doubles them. Oh, you got, hang on, Son on your bench. Don't bench Son. Yeah, I'll definitely start Son. So maybe don't take the hit for Jackson then and start Son. Yeah, I'll do Salah to Gordon. I'm just not sure about the rest because you'd start Son over Mateta, I guess. Yeah, that's what I would do. I mean, you could consider a -4 to go Mitchell to Share or something like that, but I think you don't need it necessarily. I think 1 free transfer is okay, but I don't hate it. I think if I was going to do a second move, Mitchell to Share is what I'd do there. Least End Snares says, I think I read that terribly wrong. He says, for differential, Barnes instead of Gordon. I mean, if you really want a differential for the sake of it, then yeah, I think that's fine. But I'd still rather get Gordon. I just wonder who misses out if Wilson comes into the team. Like, do they play Isak and Gordon on the wings and Barnes misses out? Or would Wilson come straight in for Isak for one game? I'd rather Gordon though, because he's not going to get benched in the form he's shown all season. Alan Macker says, start Haaland or João Pedro, 40 points off the top. Start Haaland. I'd start Haaland. I know like he's not guaranteed to start, but I think you have to take your chances and start him over João Pedro, who also might not start. Kalian says, sell Mateta or Solanke for a -4 hit for Isak. I think Mateta. Also, given the fact that Eze's a doubt, they're away at Fulham, Bournemouth are home, I think. Where's Bournemouth? Yeah, Bournemouth home to Brighton. Yeah, I'd sell Mateta to Isak for a -4. I think that's worth it. And obviously lining yourself up for 37 when he doubles. Michael Radley says, who would you bench, Maguire or Burn for Van der Ven? I'd rather bench Maguire. Yeah, you definitely start Burn. Omar says 1 minute. When is Gusto expected to be back? Expected to be back for Gameweek 36 was the report. He could be back for West Ham. So Gameweek 36. But I mean, Reece James has been seen in training as well. I don't know if there's any chance of James playing before the season's over, but he has been seen in training. So something to keep in mind when we get there. Oscar, it's 10 AM, so what's the news? So, I asked for the 4 players, which were Salah, Darwin, Diaz, and Trent, and they said Diaz and Trent start out of those 4. So no Salah or Darwin. No Salah or Darwin. And then I got the team from someone else, which lines up with that. So there you go. If you've got Salah, reportedly doesn't start. Oh yeah, I could update the old starts widget, couldn't I? There we go. Oh, Robertson's gone off the edge there. Like that. So there you go. Yeah, the widgets are updated. Saliba or Gabriel? Gabriel's got more attacking threat, so I'd say Gabriel. They generally aim most corners at him, so Gabriel. But I mean, White is even better. It's close between them, but White's even better if you can afford him. Abdullah says Salah to Foden or Bruno, Neto to Anana, as it may not be the main goalkeeper for -4. I can't buy Petrovic. Sanchez may come back in later, or do Morris to Isak and bench Haaland as I have Solanke. Morris to Isak I like. Salah, I'd do both moves for a -4. But yeah, it's difficult if you've got Neto as well. Yeah, I'm not sure if Neto comes back in after Travers started and kept a clean sheet last game. It'd be harsh if Neto comes back in now. Does your other keeper not play either, Abdullah? So Salah, I've been told, doesn't start. So I'd sell Salah. Foden or Bruno? I'd say Foden just about. I'd rather Foden. Very close though. And then Neto to Anana. For a -4. I'm not a massive fan of it. Can you get a Vicario? Surely you could afford Vicario unless you're on triple Spurs already. Yeah, I'd get Vicario if you can. I mean, I think a -8 Morris to Isak is probably worth it, to be honest with you. I mean, I asked earlier on the stream, and chat thought that Petrovic probably keeps his spot. Like, Sanchez hasn't been good. It's not like Petrovic has been great either, but yeah, I'd get Vicario if you can. And I'll take a -8 for Isak. Hab says top 3 defenders on a wildcard, 5.1 mil and under, Romero excluded. Romero excluded, okay. Burn. Who else? There's not many. Dallo. Oh no, Dallo, you can't afford him. Not many options under that price. Maguire, 4.2 mil. Vardio, 4.9 mil, I think. I'd say that's the top 3. Yeah. You could take a punt on Davies because Udogie's out for the season as well. That's an option. Kieran says, hey Oscar, I'm stuck between 2 options. Eze and Salah to Son and Foden -4, or Eze, Saka and Van Dijk to Son, Foden plus a 4.5 mil for a -8. No, I'll do the first one. Eze and Salah out, Son and Foden in -4. I mean, the word going around now is that Salah doesn't start, and that's what I've been told as well. So definitely sell him. And then Eze is also a doubt with a knee problem. So I think those moves make perfect sense for the -4. Niall Murphy says, Ben Davies or Bramthwaite on the wildcard. Bench boost 37 in mind. Yeah, difficult one. I think I'd take the chance with Davies, you know. I mean, every game that Udogie's missed this season, Davies started in left back. So I think I'd take the chance of him, you know, since he's got 2 doubles. THJD says, sell Salah to Son or KDB for a -4. Not worth it. Definitely worth it. I'd buy Son. Son for a -4 if you've got Salah and don't have Son. Or if you've got Son, I still think KDB for a hit would be worth it. Or obviously Palmer if you haven't got him. Those are the top midfielders this week. Jura says, hey Oscar, good morning. Any news on Gusto? Yeah, Gusto's reportedly out for the double. Could be back Gameweek 36. Bradley says, would you rather have Porro and Maguire or another 4.2 mil defender, or Dallo and 8 Nora in the wildcard? I'd rather have Porro and Maguire. It's one of those though, like 8 Nori, I do think there's massive upside if you can go there this week, but for me it means booking in a transfer for 37, and I thought you never know what could happen, like there could be unexpected problems and injuries, so in the end I landed on Romero, but it doesn't feel great to have double Spurs defence. I don't think there's much hope against Arsenal, but maybe against Chelsea. Yeah, I'd go Porro and Maguire. Carliga, thanks for the 14 months. Is bench 1 out of Havertz, Solanke, Mateta? I think I'd bench Mateta out of those 3. Yeah, Mateta. Chelsea always smash Spurs, do they? Yeah, maybe. I'll have to see. It's going to be an interesting one, that. I mean, both are. Like, Spurs, it's been in Tottenham's hands to end Arsenal's title race this weekend. But if Arsenal beat them, and then Spurs go on to beat City, they could give the title to Arsenal. It could go either way. Is Salah defo not playing? Yeah, the team I've been sent has him not starting. Elliott and right wing. Son or KDB for Salah? Son. Gotta go Son with a double game week. Senor Lump says, morning Oscar. Wishing you a good game week, love you. Thanks very much, Senor Lump. Vaza says, sell Salah and Darwin for Isak and Son. Or any other recommendations? I don't have any other news or Newcastle or Tottenham players. No bench boost, no wildcard left either. No, I think you've got it bang on there. Isak and Son. Definitely do that. I would do the exact same moves if I was in your shoes. Chris P. Bacon, what a name. Chris P. Bacon, thanks for the super sticker. Thanks very much for that, mate. Haaland news. We haven't had much other than that he's in training. City posted photos of him in training yesterday. So they'll get yesterday and today training before tomorrow's game. So it's difficult to predict if he starts or not. But I'm taking the chance that he doesn't. Why is Robbo benched? I don't know. Ask Klopp. Couldn't tell you. He's played a lot of games actually. That'd be why. Surprisingly, he started every game recently. So he was due a rest, I suppose. MHYLR says, on a wildcard, you've got Son, Palmer, Gordon, Fono. What am I saying? Son, Palmer, Gordon, Bruno. 7 mil for the last mid. Who to get? 7 mil. Johnson? Unless you've got double Spurs defenders. Is there anyone else? I'd say Johnson or Garnacho. Jurgen Klopp with the 20 gifted. There he is. Jurgen, someone was just asking why Robbo's benched. Maybe you could tell us. Thanks so much for that. That's very generous of you. Thanks very much, mate. If you got one of those from Jurgen, then make sure you thank him for that. Thanks very much for that, Klopp. That's the most gifted memberships I've ever seen on a stream. 20 in one go. Pat says he's on the wildcard, 3rd in his mini-league. He wants KDB as a differential. Maybe Johnson or Maddison. No Fernandes. Foden in this week or next. I need something a bit different. Højlund. Yeah, KDB's great as a differential. Like, I think most people are going to struggle to get him in. I mean, most wildcards haven't got him. So I think KDB would be a good play if you can get to him. Johnson, Maddison. I think I'd rather KDB. Yeah, if you can get KDB, I'd rather get him. He came off like 70 odd minutes as well last match, so I imagine that's a rest before this weekend starting again. So I'd get KDB. Højlund's good as well, don't get me wrong. I like the Højlund pick. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Højlund, but yeah, I think because Jackson's got an extra fixture, 2 doubles, people are going for him. Tony Pribe says, fun fact, Malo Gusto translate to bad taste from Spanish to English. QED. I didn't know that. Interesting. I think it's the words got out now about Salah. Yeah. Salah doesn't start. I've seen FPL Tony's just tweeted it. Starboy McGee says Salah is benched. He is indeed. That's what I've been told. I've got widgets now on the stream for players that start, players that benched. I've just noticed the fonts don't match. What font is that? Premier League Bold. Shouldn't be doing this right when we're live. It's going to bother me otherwise. My OCD's killing me with the fonts not matching. There we go. Is that the same font? I think so. Oh no, I'm messing it all up now. I'll leave it. I won't touch it anymore. Crispy Bacon. Hi Oscar. Sell Salah for KDB, Gordon or Bruno. Depends if you've got Haaland or not. Because I don't know if I'd want to close the door on Haaland by buying KDB. But KDB's the best out of those three. But I mean, Gordon's so much cheaper, and I'd say this week their ceiling's pretty similar. So I'd probably say Gordon to just stay flexible. Yeah, I'd go Gordon. Stephen Gallagher says Salah -4 who? Bench boost 37. He's got Son, Palmer, Garnacho, Saka. De Bruyne, I would say. No, sorry, Gordon. You haven't got Gordon. Yeah, I'd get Gordon. Salah to Gordon. That's worth a -4. Abdullah says, my second goalkeeper is Areola. What do you think? Keep him or not? Or a -4 for Vicario? Or bring Vicario and a -8 for Isak? Haaland or Solanke bench in this case? I wouldn't take a -8 for Isak to bench Haaland, from personally. I would just hope that Haaland starts rather than take a -8 to bench him or Solanke. But yeah, -4 for Vicario makes sense. I would do it. I'll take the -4 for Vicario. I'll be back in a sec. I'm going for a leak. 2 secs. Sorry. Sorry about that. My bladder's pathetic when I have 2 teas in the morning. Right. Guesses in the chat. King of the game week. Who's it going to be? It was Mateta last week with 29 points. Get your guesses in the chat. Who's it going to be this week? Ross says, help. Porro, Burn, Saliba. Or Davies, Sharon, White. Porro, Burn and Saliba for me. Yeah, I'd go Porro, Burn, Saliba. That is a close one. I get where you're coming from, but I prefer the first option. Garnacho, Watkins, Isak, Bruno. My stream's... there we go. Gordon. Lewis Potter. A few of you got it last week, Mateta. Lofty reckons Werner or Johnson. Gordon, Gallagher. You know what? Gallagher would be peak FBL if he outscores Palmer. You went for KDB. Fair enough, Chris. I mean, KDB's a great pick. Like, no one's going to fault you for going KDB. Jackson, Son, Isak, Foden. Oh, the chat widget's frozen again. What the hell? Why does it keep doing that? I need some technical assistance with that one. I wonder why it does that. Maybe there's too many messages. Maybe everyone has to slow down with the chat. No, I don't know. Not sure why it does that. We need to get the predictions in as well. We need to do the prediction game before the deadline. Let me catch up on chat. Umar said, hey Focal, would you mind filling out a survey on FPL for my uni research project and share it in the chat? I would DM me on Twitter instead. Yeah, DM me on Twitter because I might miss it in chat. And I'm in the middle of a deadline stream, so I can't fill out a survey right now. But drop me a DM, Uma, and I'll get back to you on that. Gucci says, thanks for the membership, Jurgen. Does Trent start? Yeah, Trent starts. I've got a little widget on the left-hand side of the streams now that says who starts and who's benched according to leaks. So that should help you all with your deadline decisions. Pat says, Sutton? Spot on Oscar. Would you have Burn over Share? If I had the money, I'd rather have Share. If you're tight for money, which I am, Burn. Kieran says, bench Raya or Petrovic and one of Haaland, Solanke, Saka. I'd bench Raya. That one's easy. Haaland, Solanke, Saka. I think I'd take a chance and bench Haaland, you know. It is a close one, though. It'd be Solanke or Haaland for me. I wouldn't bench Saka. Solanke home to Brighton. I think I would take a chance on Haaland not starting. And start Solanke. And play the expected minutes. Stephen Parrott, thanks for becoming an FPL member as well. Appreciate that. Thanks, Stephen. Please fill out a survey and provide your bank details. Yeah. I'll have to do that one after the stream. Happy to fill it out, though. Romero, very cool. Yeah, hopefully, I mean, I'm not expecting much, but he's got a bit more attacking threat than Van der Ven, so that's why I've got him. Play Gabriel Maguire. I'd start Maguire. Who to start, Raya or Leno? Fulham home to Palace, so I'd start Leno. Eze is a doubt as well, which would work in their favour if he's out. Foden or Gordon? I'd say Gordon, just about. Close one. Right, let's rattle through the predictions and then we'll get back to it. Another green arrow bar last week, by the way. We're up to 29th. Predictions, scoreline predictions in the chat. West Ham v Liverpool. What are we saying for this one? So, Diaz and Trent starting. Salah, Darwin and Robertson don't. What are we saying? West Ham v Liverpool. Scoreline predictions in the chat. 3-1 Liverpool. A lot of people going 3-1. Okay, well, yeah, I think we're already agreed on that one. Put the game you're predicting next to your message as well, so we know which one. Fulham v Palace. What are we saying for this one? Fulham v Palace. 2-2. 0-0. 1-1. One all seems to be what. I mean, people are saying a draw, 2-2 or 1-1. Okay, people are saying 2-2. We'll go 2-2. Man United v Burnley at Old Trafford. What are we saying for that one? (4-1) to United. 2-1, 3-1, 3-1. 3-3, 3-2, 3-1. Okay, we'll go 3-1. Newcastle v Sheffield United. I don't want to hear any biased guesses from you Gordon and Isak owners. Surely not another 8-0. Newcastle v Sheffield United. What are we saying? 4-0? 6-0 Newcastle, Macas reckons. 8-0 again. 9-0. 4-0. I think a lot of people are saying 4-0. 4-1. 4-0. Yeah, I think 4-0 is the most popular answer there. Wolves v Luton Town. What are we saying for this one? Wolves v Luton. Leanne reckons 3-0. 2-1. 2-1 to Wolves. 2-1 to Luton. I mean, Wolves have got an injury crisis. They've got a lot of defenders out. I'm not even sure what the back line looks like. 3-0, 8-0 hat-trick. 3-1. I think that's about right. They're due a win at home. Everton v Brentford. Everton v Brentford. Off the back of a 2-0 win home against Liverpool last game week. 0-0. 1-0. 1-1. I think 1-0 as well. It just wouldn't even surprise me. After keeping a clean sheet to Liverpool, Everton concede to Brentford. I do think 1-0 is actually about right. Aston Villa v Chelsea. 1-1. 2-1 to Chelsea. Are those wishful Palmer captainers and Jackson owners though? 3-1 to Villa. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I think we have to be realistic, and I would say Villa win it. 3-2. I mean, Chelsea games are just crazy right now. There's always loads of goals. Let's go for 3-2. Maybe a bit wishful as a Jackson and Palmer owner. Bournemouth v Brighton. A few more to do. Bournemouth v Brighton. 3-1. 3-1 to Brighton. 3-1 to the Cherries. 2-1. 3-1 to Bournemouth. 2-1 Bournemouth. 2-all. God, we're predicting a high-scoring game week here. Could be a huge game week if these scores are accurate again. Got a green arrow last week, so when we all do it collectively, it tends to work quite well. We've only got one red arrow since we started doing these in stream, so it's quite a good way of gauging how the game week might go, how each game might go. 2-all draw. Yeah, I think we'll go for that. Tottenham v Arsenal, North London derby. What are we saying? Is that Gianni or is it another fake account? Let me check. Yeah, fake one. Who makes a fake account on a YouTuber? Pointless. 2-all. You reckon? You reckon Tottenham end Arsenal's title race this weekend? 2-1 to Arsenal. I can't in good faith put down a draw as an Arsenal fan. So I'm going to go 2-1. Nottingham Forest v Man City. Forest v City. What are we saying here? Arsenal bottle it and they lose 3-1. You reckon? Thanks for the super chat, Andreas. I'll come back to all super chats straight after these last two. 4-0 to City. 4-1. 4-0. Yeah, City. They're just too good. Like they're probably gonna win every single remaining game now. I'll take it as a compliment they've not made a fake focal account, because I've seen loads for other YouTubers, but I'll take it as a compliment that they've not impersonated me. And lastly, Chelsea v Tottenham. Final game. What are we saying here? Chelsea v Tottenham. 4-1 to Spurs. 3-2 Tottenham win. I feel like a lot of these are wishful double game weeks. Oh, it's just a double for Chelsea and Tottenham, but a lot of us are hoping for high scoring games here, like 4-0. Yeah, maybe 4-0 Newcastle. 4-0 City. 3-all? Do you reckon? Alright, we'll go for it. We'll go for it. Locked in. Thanks everyone for tuning into the deadline stream, by the way. Hope you've all enjoyed it. If you have, don't forget to subscribe and drop a like on the stream. How are we doing, Calvin? Welcome to the stream. Let me catch up on chat now. Andreas said, thoughts on Saka? No game weeks, but neither United or Spurs are very solid defensively, despite being red fixtures, and he's guaranteed to start, unlike someone like Foden. I'd still rather Foden. Like, I guess he's not guaranteed, but you'd imagine Foden starts all remaining games. I wouldn't be surprised if he does, given how good he's been this season. So, yeah. I get it. I do see the temptation of getting an Arsenal mid, because they've got some good fixtures as well. But I'd rather Foden. Right, let me tweet about the Liverpool players. So, what were the players again? Diaz and Trent start. Robertson, Darwin. What was the rest of the lineup? So, Alisson in goal, Van Dijk, Gakpo, Elliott. So, yeah, Gomez and left back. Robertson, Darwin and Salah don't start. There we go, I've tweeted it. Eze early news. No early news on Eze. He's got this knee injury, so he is a doubt for the game. Branthwaite or Dallo? I'd say Dallo, just because he's got the extra fixture. But yeah, they're pretty close. Diaz starts. Yeah, Diaz starts, is what I've been told. Oh, maybe Robertson doesn't. Maybe Robertson does start. I just had mixed messages. Darwin, Salah, hang on. Sorry, I'm just tweeting about Liverpool. Right, I'll leave it at that. Start Maguire or Vardy? I'd start Vardy 100%. Jackson or Bruno for a -4? Depends who you're selling, Thomas. Like, I think selling someone like Mateta, even though he hauled last week, I think selling him for Jackson's okay for a -4. Or Darwin, you know, based on him not starting. Yeah, a bit of confusion about Robertson. I've heard two different things, but the rest is the same. Ali, Trent, Robbo, Maka. Alisson, Trent, Kwanzaa, Van Dijk, Robertson, McAllister, Endo, Gravenberch, Salah, Gakpo, Diaz. Sorry, not focused on the stream at all here. Alright, I've tweeted that, done. News about Haaland. Haaland's in training, so there's a chance he makes the game. Sorry, a chance he starts. I've got him on my bench. I mean, let's do a poll on that. I'm interested to know if you guys think he starts or not. So 78% are bench boosting in Gameweek 37. 22% aren't. Let's get a poll on Haaland, whether he starts this Gameweek or not. Not whether you've got him, whether you actually think he starts. So be honest. Does Haaland start? Yes, no. Well, the poll is up. Get your votes in on that. Sorry, I'm getting so many messages while I do this. Very distracted today. Right, so Pat says, on the wildcard, Verbruggen's share or a Nana burn. I need money for Porro. I'd rather go a Nana burn because Verbruggen's not nailed. Like, all season he's rotated with Steele, so I just wouldn't take the chance, Pat. I'd just go a Nana burn. Mark says, Sharon Johnson or Burn and Richarlison. I'm on a wildcard and starting Salah irrespective of leaks. Irrespective. I mean, okay. If I was on a wildcard, I definitely wouldn't have Salah based on the news he doesn't start. But if you think he could get something off the bench or maybe like make up the points in the later game mix, then fair play. I'd rather go Sharon Johnson because Richarlison's missed a lot of games and this is the first time he's back fit. So does he start? I think there's a possibility he comes off the bench for the first game and then starts against Chelsea. They are close, but I'd rather Johnson. Nick says, no bench. Should I take a -4? I've got Gabriel, Vardy and Nori. No bench. I mean, I think that back three is okay. I think that's not the worst back three. Gabriel, Vardy or Nori. It depends if you're bench boosting in 37, because you could take a -4 to sell one of your other defenders for burn or share, just to line up the bench boost in advance and at least get someone a bit better than Gabriel to start. But I don't think Gabriel starting is the end of the world. Dr. Yazan says choose two out of these four: Isaac, Watkins, Werner and Bruno. I would say Isaac and Bruno out of those four. I mean, those are the two I've got in my wildcard, so yeah, Isaac and Bruno. Hazard Time says he's taken Salah out, bringing Son, KDB or Bruno. I would sell Salah for Son. I think that's the priority move because he's got the double. Abdullah says top 10k, but already on a -4. Is it worth a -8 for Salah to Foden? I would do it, to be honest with you. I would do it, even if it's for a -8. Like, Salah could get something off the bench, but in terms of who's got better prospects this week, it's got to be Foden likely to start than Salah, who might get 20 minutes, for example. Kazaka says, which option do you prefer? Edison, Maguire and White, or Edison, Saliba and Van der Ven? Pretty close. Can you not afford Gabriel? Or is that in addition to Gabriel? I mean, Edison's in both, so basically what you're asking is Saliba, Van der Ven, or Maguire and White. Very close, that one. I think I'd go Maguire and White, just about. We Talk Football says, Focal, my mini-league rival is 40 points ahead of me. We've both got the wildcard and bench boost chips. What to do? I mean, it's hard to say, isn't it, without knowing what their team's going to look like. Like, if they go super template, then it's going to be very hard to make up those points. But I don't know what kind of FPL manager they are. Like, if they're a really template player, then I imagine they'll probably have the same front 8 as this. But you could go for double Spurs mid instead, and then go double Newcastle defence. That's one way to differentiate. So you have Burn and Share in defence, but then you have Son and Maddison, or Johnson in midfield. Another way you could differentiate from them is taking a chance by getting KDB, which they probably won't do. But yeah, it's hard to say, isn't it, without knowing what they're doing. Greg's gone Son captain. So, sorry, let me update the widget. Robertson starts now, is what I'm told. So go like that. There we go. So that's correct now. Yeah, based on what I've told, Salah doesn't start. It's Elliott and right wing. Is this your wildcard? Yeah, this is it. Wildcard active. Let me take a screenshot actually and post it on Twitter. That's it. Wildcard active. Is there anything else I need to say? I think that's it. Simple. As always, tag me in a photo on Twitter of your stream setup, whether you're watching on TV or on your phone or wherever it is, and I'll retweet it. Yeah, I'm told Robertson starts. So initially I had a message that said Gomez, and then the follow-up said Robertson. So I think it's Robertson left back, yeah. What is NLD? North London Derby. Arsenal v Tottenham. Start Maguire or Saliba? I mean, they're pretty close, to be honest, but I'd start Maguire. Is Ben Davies an option? He definitely is. Like, he's only 4.3 mil. Udogi's out for the season. And every game that Udogi's missed this season, Davies has played left back. But I'd say maybe still not completely nailed. Live chat's frozen again. Damn it. I need to check why it does that. I'll investigate that after the stream. What a weird glitch. There we go. Start Watkins or Haaland? Difficult one. I think I'd start Watkins. And just hope that Haaland doesn't start. Is this your final squad? Yeah, this is me. I'm locked in. So Wildcard's active. So I've got 6 doublers this week. I'll have 13 doublers and 37 on the bench boost. Unless I use a free transfer to sell Gabriel or Saliba, which I might not. Yeah, I went double Arsenal defence in the end because in Gameweek 36, Spurs are away at Liverpool, so you don't want to play them. And then who do you start? You could go double Newcastle defence, but that means no Gordon or Isak. Right, let me catch up on chat. Dr. Yazan says, why burn over share? It was just because of money reasons. I couldn't afford share. If I had the money for it, I 100% would have bought share, but I couldn't afford him. Even if I went Romero to Maguire, I still couldn't afford him. Which I guess is like testament to why early transfers can sometimes be a good thing over the season, because you can gain team value, which I lost a lot of at the start of the season because I had... who did I go at Gameweek 1? I had like double Man United mids. I had Luke Shaw, who got injured and then he went down. I had Mubama, who went down. A few players like that. So it does make a difference. Like I've seen very similar teams, but instead they've got, you know, Dalot over Romero. They've got White over Saliba, Schär over Burn, that sort of thing. So yeah, just a money thing, Yazan. I'd rather have Schär if I could afford him. Abdullah says, Bruno or Foden for Salah. Midfielders Eze, Son, Maddison, Palmer. Yeah, pretty neck and neck this week. Bruno or Foden. I suppose you go Bruno because he's home to Burnley. He's on pen, set pieces. Get Bruno. Slap it for retail says -8. Salah to Gordon or Foden. Goalkeepers are Neto and Areola. Yeah, they're very close. I think I'd go Gordon just about. Like, they're against bottom in the league. They've conceded the most Premier League goals in Premier League history, and there's still a few game weeks to go, so I think it's a fixture worth targeting. So go Gordon and then look to get Foden later. Dale Richardson says, Oscar, play Haaland and Mateta first sub or the other way. Between Haaland and Mateta, I think I'd start Haaland, Mateta first sub. Yeah, close one, but I think in that scenario I'd rather start Haaland over Mateta. Luke Smith says 8 mil not allowed Newcastle players. Got Bruno, Palmer, Foden, Son. Who's the best midfielder? I suppose it'd be a second Spurs mid, so Johnson on Maddison. I can't remember how much Maddison is. I think he's under that. I'd say Maddison or Johnson. Garnacho. Those are the best options. Probably worth just going double Spurs mid. So Maddison or Johnson. Would you do 8 Nori to Schär for a hit? Definitely not. AV Nova says Burn or Schär. What about Gusto? Gusto's out for this game week reportedly, so he's out. So Burn or Schär? I'd rather have Schär. If you've got the money, get Schär. Walter says, is Werner a shout as a differential? No, I'd swerve him because Richarlison's back, so I'd be amazed if he starts both games. Ticketmaster says, will there be another opportunity to use my bench boost? Or should I use it today? Gameweek 37 is when most people are using it. So, I mean, if you've got a really good bench this week, go for it. But Gameweek 37 is a big double game week. Just check how your bench will look in each week. Yeah, I don't mind Havertz. I did look at him. That's the thing with the wildcard. Like, we're selling players that have been smashing it. Saka not so much recently, but he can turn it on in any game. Havertz has been on fire recently. So I don't mind the Havertz pick. Get Porro or Burn this game week. I suppose you prioritise Porro if you can afford him, because he's got a double game week and more attack him, albeit worst fixtures, but it's a double. Moama says Edison and Van der Ven or Vicario and Gvardiol. I've already got Porro. Yeah, difficult one. I think I prefer Vicario and Vardiol. Just about. Yeah, I'd get Vardiol. He's not guaranteed to start all games. That's the problem with City defence right now, because they're all fit. But Van der Ven, I mean, what's his ceiling? It's going to be very low, isn't it? Whereas Vardiol's got an attacking return in him. Kieran White says, Saka to Bruno for a -4 worth it. Can we do a captaincy poll? I wouldn't sell Saka for a hit. Nah, personally not. So the poll was, does Haaland start? 35% yes, 65% no. And then we'll do a captain poll for Kieran. So get your votes in on this. Who is your captain? Salah. Salah? Why am I putting Salah? Palmer, Son. I guess we'll just go other. And if you go other, message in chat. Who's your other? Duke and touch type. Yeah, I type crazy fast. I used to play a lot of games when I was young, and it helped to be a fast typer. Right. Lewis says, third striker, 5.5 mil or under. Currently on Mateta, 5.5 or under. Yeah, probably Mateta. Can't think of anyone else. I think Cunha is about the same price, so he's a shout as well, because they got Luton home. Who's got the better run-in? Wolves have got Luton home, City. Yeah, I mean, they've got City away and Liverpool away, so Cunha's not great unless you can bench him. So, yeah, I'd say Mateta. Yeah, I used to play RuneScape loads. I got 99 in every skill and then quit. I must have put thousands of hours into that game, though. Chat froze. Damn it, again. Why does it keep freezing? If anyone knows why it does that, let me know. Jackson or Watkins, who should I bench? Oh, I hate to say this out loud. Like, these words are leaving my lips, but I'd bench Watkins for Jackson this week. Best Haaland replacement. Isak or Jackson? Foden or KDB in for Salah? I mean, they're very close, so I'd say Foden, and you'll have that extra money for something else. I'd rather Foden, yeah. I mean, do you guys agree with that? Would you bench Watkins for Jackson this week? Surely you do with a double game week. Surely you don't bench Jackson. Like, if you, when are you going to play Jackson if you're not going to play him in a double game week? Like, what's he even in your team for if you're not going to play him this week? Like, I know he could get back-to-back 2-pointers and Watkins smashes it, but like, if you're not, what's Jackson even in your team for if you're not going to play him in a double? So I'd rather play Jackson over Watkins this week. And I'm starting over Haaland, which is a bit of a risky one, but it is what it is. Abolo Inna says, Eze for Gordon or Foden for -4. Yeah, I'd take the -4 and get Gordon. Noel says, I need to cut 0.2 mil for Haaland and Ederson. I've got defensive Gabriel, Saliba, Porro, Maguire, Burn, Petrovic. Who can I get instead? I've got triple Newcastle. I mean, there's not really anywhere. I don't know who I'd get rid of here. I mean, it'd have to be an Arsenal defender. So you go, I guess you have to go Saliba to Dallo. I think that's the only option. Yeah, Saliba to Dallo. But then it is double. The defender combinations are really hard on the wildcard. But yeah, I'd probably get Dallo. And then just check if you can use that money to get someone better than Maguire. But I don't know if you could. So I'd probably leave Maguire in. Edward says, Burn and Bruno or Porro and Gordon. Vardiol starts. Not sure about Vardiol. They don't play till tomorrow, so we're not going to know before the deadline what the City lineup is. I wish we did, because like, I've got Haaland here, but I mean, maybe we'll get something before the deadline, but I highly doubt it in the next 15 minutes. Burn and Bruno, Porro and Gordon. I'd go Porro and Gordon. So yeah, people that have Eze, if I had him, I'd replace him with Gordon. If I had Salah, I'd replace him with Palmer and Son as priorities. Reset your cash. Okay, I'll do that after the stream. I can't reset cash now. Chasing a 100-point deficit. Any wild punt choices? It's going to be hard to overcome 100, but I'd captain the second best choice every week for the rest of the season and just hope it lands. So captain Son this week if you're chasing big time. Because Palmer, look at the captain poll now. 83% Palmer, 12% Son, 5% other. So, if you're massively chasing, I think 100 is going to be almost impossible, but you never know. Like if Palmer happens to blank and Son, puts up something like Mateta's score last week, then maybe. Let's have a look at who the most transferred players are. Most transferred in, it is Son. 936,000 have brought him in. Then Isak, Fernandes, Foden, Jackson, Gordon, Share, Porro, Watkins, Petrovic, Mateta, 243,000. Most sold is Salah, 955,000. Haaland in second. That's surprising. Eddie says start Foden or Haaland. I've got both and I'm starting Foden, but yeah, it's a close one. Clean sheet odds. Yeah, clean sheet odds are there. For Gameweek 35. Edison or Dubravka. They're tied on the clean sheet odds, but surely Edison. But yeah, it's close. Probably Edison. Why Romero? Why not Van der Ven? He's just got slightly better underlying numbers than Van der Ven. Like it's not going to happen, but like Romero's got an expected goal of him every 700 odd minutes, whereas Van der Ven was like every 2,500 minutes. So Romero tends to shoot more on goal, off the odd set piece or corner. So it's just for that reason, basically. But there's not much between them. Like Davies is a good pick as well. Dallo or Cucurella? I'd go Dallo just because Cucurella might not be a starter by 37. Maguire or Branthwaite? I'd go Maguire for the extra fixture. Solanke or Darwin for Isak? I'd sell Darwin. There's a widget on the left of the stream now which shows which players, according to leaks, are starting and who's benched. So there we go. Yeah, it's a pretty reliable source that said it, and I've seen other people who've reported it as well. So yeah, if you have Salah, I would get rid. It's Harvey Elliott and right wing, and Nunez also doesn't start. Gakpo does, but yeah, it's all in that widget there. Yeah, Salah doesn't start. So yeah, if you've got Salah and you don't have Son or Palmer, then make that move. I think Gordon's a good replacement. Foden, De Bruyne, Bruno. Just depends who you've got already. Palmer benched first game. I don't think he will be. I got a message from a reliable account that says he starts. So I don't think he will be benched. He has been in training as well. What's the FPL challenge this week? Is it the London teams get double? Or is it the London derbies double? I forget what it was now. Vardiol rested. I mean, it's possible. There is a risk of all the City defenders. Like Ake could play, but Vardiol's better offensively, so I think he's a solid pick still. Akanji or Ake? I'd rather Vardiol for about the same price. Yeah, London derbies. Okay. Saka or Son? Son. You haven't organised your team. Oh yeah, remember last Gameweek's drama when I didn't save it? Let me check I've saved it. Thanks for the reminder. Yeah, it is saved. Yeah, that is how I want it. last week was probably one of the most stressful hours in FPL history for me. Who was there last week when I transferred in Elise and then accidentally benched him and realised 10 seconds before the deadline, and then the website crashed when I was trying to save it. Yeah, it saved about 3 seconds before the deadline, but in the end it didn't even matter because Haaland didn't play. After all that stress, and I had to wait for the game to update to see if it saved or not, and yeah, luckily it saved. I mean, those of you that are on Discord, it made for some banging emojis. Check out the new emojis on Discord for my reactions. Right, where did I get to? Edward said, Burn and Bruno, Porro, Gordon did that one. Vardiel starts, you're not sure about Vardiel. They don't play till tomorrow, so. Lucas says, Salah to Gordon or Son. Scared of a Gordon haul. Yeah, but Son's got a double, so Son's got to be the priority there. I know what you mean, like, Gordon's home to Sheffield United, but Son's got a double. Hamad says he's on a wild card and he's got funds for Dallo or Walker or Romero. I wouldn't get Romero out of those three, so Dallo or Walker. I'd probably get Walker, you know. Not completely nailed like any of the City defenders, but I think I'd get Walker. Yeah, FPL1 says, hi Oscar, on the wild card, Gordon, Porro, Van der Ven, or Romero, Share, Garnacho. I've got Burn in defence too. Who's better, Van der Ven or Davies, Jackson or Højlund? I prefer the first one. I wouldn't go about Gordon this week, personally. I couldn't bring myself to not have him. There is upside in it, because you can have double Newcastle defence, which does solve problems, but I'd rather have Gordon. What's the other question? Davies or Van der Ven? I think I'd take a chance on Davies, you know. I'd take the chance with Davies. Jackson or Højlund? Jackson. B says -4. Salah to Son. Garnacho to Gordon. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you need to make the Garnacho to Gordon move, but I get it. I don't know if I would do the -4. Like, Garnacho is home to Burnley. I don't think you need to take a -4 to sell him. I'd just do Salah to Son. Andres says, hi, any thoughts on Wan-Bissaka on a wildcard? I've got triple Newcastle, Chelsea and City already, 0.3 mil. Other defenders are Porro, Gabriel, Burn at 8 Nori. Yeah, I think Wan-Bissaka's alright, but I think Maguire makes even more sense, unless I'm missing something. I know like he had an injury recently, but he's got, although Wan-Bissaka's fullback, Maguire's got more goal threat. I mean, he got a goal and an assist last game. He's got a few returns over the season, so I would get Maguire over Wan-Bissaka. Yeah, nice defence. Paredes says, Oscar, mate, what's your thoughts on going 8 Nori for mainly 35 and 37 wildcard active? Porro, Burn, Gabriel, Wyatt can easily go for Man United defence. Yeah, I was weighing the same thing up, and in the end, I just didn't want to book in a transfer. But I know what you mean. He's got Palace home, so like it's not the end of the world if you can't sell him. I do think 8 Nori's. Yeah, I'm going to be gutted if he hauls this week, because I think it's possible. He might be playing in left wing. He's home to Luton. And Luton are just conceding for fun at the moment. So, yeah, I do like the 8 Nori pick. I think he's perfectly sound on a wild card, even though he doesn't have a double. And there is the option to sell him. And depending on like how you line up with Chelsea, if you just have double Chelsea, you've got the option to go 8 Nori to Gusto, for example. Or, you know, Maguire. There's a few ways you can go, depending on how much money you've got. Let him know Robertson isn't starting. I mean, I got conflicting reports on it, and I believe he does. So I've moved him up into starting there, based on the lineup I was sent. Yeah. Alisson, Trent, Quansah, Van Dijk, Robertson, McAllister, Endo, Gravenberch. Elliott, Gakpo, Diaz. So yeah, that's what I was told. City news, we've not had any news really. Like, everyone's fine. Haaland's back in training. But whether he starts or not, like, we did a poll earlier and 35% reckoned he starts, 65% reckon he doesn't. Captain poll results, 83% Palmer, 12% Son, 5% other. Convinced me not to triple captain Isak. I would triple captain a double game week. So you could go Palmer or Son this week, or you could go Palmer or Haaland in 37. I just don't see a reason not to use it in a double game week. I know it's a very good single, but personally, I'll always use triple captain in a double. Because you just, mathematically, it makes more sense. There's 2 games. They're likely to get you something in 180 minutes than just 90. Az in the chat, how are we doing, Az? Welcome to the stream. KDB or Bruno? I mean, if money's not a problem, KDB. I think he's an awesome pick, and I wish I could squeeze him in, but for me, it had to be Foden because I've got Haaland. Mitch says Foden and KDB if affordable, or Foden and Bruno. If it's affordable, I think Foden and KDB's really solid. Like, I think it's a very under the radar combination to have Foden, KDB, and Haaland. But if you don't have Haaland, then you might want to go Bruno just to leave that money in case you need it. Mitch, thanks for the super chat. Oscar H says Salah to Fernandes from -4. Yeah, I think that's a good move. I would definitely sell Salah. The reports are that the leaks are that he's benched. He doesn't start, so I would sell him. Even for a -4 this week, I'd sell Salah because there's players that are upside. It might be the real Az. Like, we had someone faking Gianni earlier, but no, I think it is him. Yeah, so anyway, if I had Salah, I would sell him, even for a -4. Palmer and Son are the priorities, and then you could just go Gordon, Foden, Bruno, KDB, all perfectly good. Salah to Bruno is fine for -4, Oscar, if you've got those other players, Son and Palmer already. Otherwise, I'd prioritise those. Start Solanke or Mateta? I'd start Solanke. He says they can't get the tick like the cool kids. Yeah, you have to get 100k subscribers. It's difficult. I'm glad it's a thing though, because someone's going around making lots of fake accounts impersonating other YouTubers like Harry and Ross who do have the tick. Are we raiding Juice after? I don't mind where we go actually. We can raid anyone. Wherever you guys want to go. 2 minutes till deadline. Final reminder to make sure you've saved your team, unlike me last game week. Make sure you got your captaincy sorted, bench in the right order. You have to play 5-a-side with Des Walker. Rahim says, triple captain active on Palmer, bench boost 37. What do you think? Yeah, if I had my bench boost, I'd triple captain right now, Palmer. That's exactly what I would do. Yeah. Start Burn and Maguire. I'd start Burn. Saka or Munoz? I'd say Saka. South Africa salutes you. Appreciate that. How can you afford that team? My team value's not that high. I've got... It's 105 mil. I don't think that's that high. I think there's people out there with like 106 mil, 107 mil. As is on a stag do this weekend. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Gameweek 37. I've got a stag do. So I'm not going to be able to stream Gameweek 37. And my bench boost is active as well. I'm going to be in Barcelona. Which is a bit annoying, but it is what it is. Like, I couldn't ask them to move the stag do around for me to stream FPL. But I should be able to do all the videos still. Just I won't be able to stream the deadline. Unless I do it from Barcelona on a hangover on my phone, but I don't think that's going to happen. But I will be back for Gameweek 38. So I'll be back next week. I'll miss 37's deadline, and then I'll be back 38. Dubai salutes you. Kenya salutes me. I'm getting a lot of the salutes. Barcelona sounds horrible. I've been once before, and From memory, it was nice anyway. I've also been to Madrid for El Clasico, back when Messi and Ronaldo were at Barca and Real Madrid, and we were in Real Madrid seats, and they lost like 5-0. Messi got an injury as well, and he just came back from injury that game, luckily, and got to see him. Crazy. Anyway, what do we do now? Do we raid someone, or do we make an FPL challenge team? What would you guys rather do? What shall we do? FPL team, raid someone. Get your votes in. That is the deadline. Appreciate you all going. I know some of you dip as soon as the deadline passes, so drop a like before you go. Subscribe if you've enjoyed the stream. And get your votes on the poll to decide what we do next. FPL challenge team. Alright, let's do it. So it's double points for the North London derby. So which games is that? So that'll be Tottenham v Chelsea. Oh, there it is. Players involved in London derbies from Chelsea, Arsenal, Spurs, Fulham and Palace get double points. Did I read that they're giving double points for Chelsea's game against Villa as well? I'm sure I read that. So I'm going to go Palmer and Jackson. Yeah, I'm sure I'll watch the games from Barcelona. Ronaldo's better than Messi. Let's not get into Messi v Ronaldo now. Jeez. Who else would we have? So we'll have a few Spurs players. We have to have Son. We have to have Porro. Vicario. Who else gets double? Fulham. Who have Fulham got? But you can have 5 per team. So I feel like we need to go all in on one of the double game week games, keeping a clean sheet. Who have Palace got? Fulham away. I don't know if there's a clean sheet there. Maybe we just hope that Eze misses out and go for all out. I think that's the way to do it, isn't it, on challenge? You got to like back one fixture. Did Castagna start last week? Yeah. So we're going to go Castagna. I think I'm going to go all in on the Fulham clean sheet because it's the only chance of actually winning, I think. It's the back one fixture. So we'll go back to Spurs. I think we've got to have a Spurs midfielder here. Johnson. Richarlison could be the differential we need. And then forwards, who would we have? Maybe we have to have Isak and Gordon, don't we? Can I afford this team? Gordon's got to be in. Third forward, I don't think I need. I think I'm going to go 3-5-2. So I'm just going to put Munoz in. So we're left with a keeper. So we'll go Petrovic. And that gives me... I've still got 16.4 mil in the bank. I guess we'll just go Trent. See how that looks as a first draft. Sorry, I just got a message and I thought I'd messed something up badly on one of my tweets. I did get that right. I said Salah. Right, so I think that's about right, isn't it? So let me swap Gordon in for Munoz. I think that's it. I think we've done it. Do you have to pay for your channel memberships? It doesn't cost me anything. It's just like a YouTube feature. I think that seems about right as a team. So if I back Fulham to keep a clean sheet, which is a bit left field, but it's double points. Porro, I think, and Vicario. I may as well just back a clean sheet against Chelsea. Captain Palmer. I think, again, to win the whole thing, you've got to go differential. So I'm going to captain Son. Like, if you get it wrong in FPL Challenge, then it's like, whatever. Doesn't matter, does it? There we go. Team sorted, I think. Is there anyone we can go raid? Let's have a check. Who's live? Live. FPL Tom. Yeah, FPL Tom. It's been a while since we've head over to his channel, so maybe we can go raid him. Really nice guy. Raid Andy. Hopefully I didn't miss any super chats, by the way. Let me just quickly read before we go raid. Or raid Tom, because he's got about 5 viewers, so we could get a great reaction out of him if we all head over there. Let me just double check. I haven't missed any super chats. Yeah, perfect. All right, we're all good. I hope you all enjoyed the deadline stream, and thanks to those of you that stuck around afterwards. We're going to head over to... Jago says, bye, focus. See you later, Jago. See you later, Jogo. Head over to FPL Tom's stream and spam focal raid in this chat. Thanks as always for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Good luck this game week, and focal out. Oh, he's ended his stream. If he's ended his stream, then never mind. We're done. No raid. No raid. No raid this week. That's fine. Thanks as always, everyone. Good luck this game week, and I'll see you around on Discord. That is it for me. Focal out.